Fair use. Fair use. Just in case. Yeah, what's going on? This is a bit of an impromptu stream. This is Introvert Boricua. And we are doing a little bit of struggle streaming as you come in. If you happen to catch this, hit the like. Okay.
Se ven bien, pero ellas no saben que nosotros estamos aquí. Ellas no saben que nosotros estamos aquí. Ay, padre, madre, no, pero estas son muy hermosas. Mira.
No voy a tener que bajarle.
Hola, no, espérate, papá. Todavía no bajan. Vamos a ver qué hacen. Porque mira, ellas están concentradas. ¿Qué es lo que ellas se hacen en el pecho? Contrale. Dime una cosa. Un juego que ay, ¿qué fue? Ay. Estas mujeres se ven bien, pero ellas no saben que nosotros estamos aquí. Ellas no saben que nosotros estamos aquí.
Vamos a dejarlo quieto.
Hola, no, espérate, papá. Vamos a ver qué hacen. Porque mira, ellas están concentradas. ¿Qué es lo que ellas se hacen en el pecho? Contrale. Dime una cosa. Un juego que ay, ¿qué fue? Ay.
Yo me quedo con...
A sinceridad, papá, sin abusar, porque tú sabes cuáles son los gustos míos.
Con la molleta.
Con la mujer. ¿Y qué es eso?
O sea, la voluminosa.
Mira, pero yo me quedo con eso. Mira qué bonita, Dios te bendiga. Wow. Eso es lo que hacen. Pero que mira, espérate.
This may have been settled. This has to be a setup.
Pero que ella cree que están en su casa en el espejo. Ay, padre amado. No. Viejo, pero yo sí estoy entretenido. Yo creo que esto es mejor que una película.
Mira cómo hace.
Ay.
Mira cómo hace la cosa.
Oye, si esas mujeres se dan cuenta que nosotros estamos aquí, se mueren.
Bueno,
se mueren
literal.
Ay, concha, esto va a quedar grabado por el resto de la vida.
No, this was set up. This was staged because I don't think these guys had filmed things that was like a mirror that you couldn't see you can see inside the car from outside. I doubt it.
Sí. Así no. ¿Y qué es lo que ella va a hacer? ¿Y qué es lo que va a hacer?
Bueno.
Ay, padre amado, no, pero mira, nosotros no debemos ni bajar el cristal, yo creo, porque se va a sentir, va a tener vergüenza. Ay. Ahora, Dios bendiga ese pecho. Dios le bendiga esa cosa.
Así es.
Eso está lindo. ¿Usted cree que sea natural? Ella se ve natural, la dos, ¿verdad?
Se ve natural, la dos. Parece que hace mucho ejercicio.
Ahí viene
La gente, mira cómo mira la gente.
se quedan mirando, ¿no? ¿Qué era lo que
Ahí se ve también.
atrás y quedaron como atónitos como quedaron.
Ya voy a invitar a que se
Yo asunto. Vamos. Hasta la 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Padre amado.
Pero vengan.
Güey, no se vayan. Güey, no se vayan. Anda, pero mira. Mira. Toma.
Hey, what's going on? Let me see if I'm getting this right. I see that we have. Hey, Rakim, 18 letter. Hey, Tina, what's happening? Yes, I know that a bigger platform was doing their thing tonight. But whatever, I'll stay here for a little bit. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be putting out the link in a minute. Hey, Afro, what's going on? All right, I'll put the link there. Come on up. I saw that post, Rakim, about the pretentious type. Some women today have the audacity, and I'm telling you, it's not about race, because anybody from any modern woman from another race can have that kind of audacity. I can assure you, it's not about race. Guys, hit the like as you come in. Maybe you heard something. It's because I'm improvising with this thing. Ugh. Yeah, oh boy. I think I saw a little something about this. I'm gonna play it on. No, Tina, keep watching. I'm gonna play it in a moment. I'm trying to set it up. Something that Joaquin sent me. I'm gonna make sure that you can see it. Okay. Watch now, Tina.
Oh, word, that's what's up.
Yeah, so if we start with each other, like, you gonna start paying my rent?
Absolutely not. I don't know you.
But you're gonna get some money.
I don't mean I'm about to pay your rent because I'm getting to know you.
Yeah, but like, you make money, so.
Okay, but what does my money got to do with you?
Talk to a bad bitch, you know you gotta take care of her.
I don't have to do nothing.
I mean,
I don't have to do nothing.
You're new here, so you don't know, but you meet a bad, you gotta take care of her, especially if she lives somewhere like this.
You know where I live? I live in the penthouse in River Oaks around the corner.
Yeah.
So I don't need to.
So that means you have the money.
Okay, I have the money for me. I don't fucking know. You haven't told me about you. And you ain't asked me.
Because we didn't get to know each other yet.
Okay,
I'm
then,
just
but look,
letting you know my standards.
No.
If you start talking to me, you know you gotta pay my rent.
Look, I'm not paying your rent. I'm not paying your rent. So maybe we wasting time here.
Okay. I guess I feel like you should think differently.
No, but I'm not gonna. This is the thing. I'm not gonna think different.
I feel like
so if you want me to pay your rent, you can get out. Cause
my rent here like $1,800.
A word, that's what's up.
Yeah. So.
Oh boy. Now this could be staged. I have reason to believe that this may be staged. This may not have been like a real thing. What's going on, Rakim?
Shout out to my boy Ramon. Just
Yeah.
checking in with you, man. Shout out to your stream and everything, man. Just wanted to stop by, show some love, and show some report, some support.
I appreciate you coming by. I know that everybody else is gonna be is gonna be on the other stream that just started also. Uh, okay, that's fine. I understand. I shouldn't be doing home date streams. Uh, hey, what's going on, MK? You can hit the like too if you like. Come on up, hit the like. But yeah, I remember seeing a video like this. Again, it could be staged because the other video that I saw, um, it was a situation like that. It was a couple that they were about to go on a date, and they had a camera set up in the same place on like on the dashboard, on the windshield, and they were having kind of like a back and forth like that. The couple was about to go on a date, and then she started instead of going to the date, she started asking and asking over again that the guy takes her shopping. They have never been out before. They were not an item or a couple or anything like that. But she kept asking over and over to be that the guy takes her shopping, and she will keep going on and on. No, but I want you to take me shopping. I want you to I want you to I want to go to this store, that store, this, that, and the there. And if you do it, you were to do it, it would be worth it. I mean, she was speaking this nice, soft voice, but it was basically her insisting that to be taken shopping. And the guy kept saying, no, I just met you. We're supposed to go on a date. I'm not taking you shopping. And in the end, he asks her to step out of the car and all. But it may have been staged. But the thing is that whether it is staged or not, that doesn't mean that things like that are not happening in real life. I mean, it's just a dramatization, um, a dramatization of something that may be a thing. Uh, okay, let's block you. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so somebody was trying to promote some kind of hookup shit. All right, they're out. So what do you think? Do you think that there is some grain of truth to this shit? You're muted.
Yeah, it's definitely some truth to it. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy that a lot of people got the audacity to think like this. But this is what social media, um, decades of luxurious rap videos um magazine articles and Vogue magazine and all of these different that has shown people living this lifestyle has really deluded a lot of people out here when it comes to finances. A lot of people don't know money and understand money as much as they think they do.
Okay, you're breaking up. I did understand what you were saying, but you're breaking up. I mean, it sounded like you are very distant, and it's kind of like with a lot of static. But
All right, give me one
yeah.
second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right. Try to keep this from playing something that. Okay, let's mute this. Okay. Let me see. I was trying to. Hmm. Hey, Don Jose, how you doing?
Good evening, guys. How you doing tonight?
We're doing okay. I was just kind of like doing a little impromptu type of stream, it being home day at all. So I figured, what the hell? I mean, it's one of those things. It wasn't planned. I know that as usual, there are other people doing their streams. So this one is gonna be a little janky. But I still appreciate you coming. You coming up. What's going on? What's new?
Oh, nothing much. Nothing much. I just left a virtual meeting this hop on and show some support. And it's always a pleasure to speak with you. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, Rakeem. And
Mm-hmm.
just here to chew the fat. That's all.
Yeah, okay. Appreciate it.
All
Appreciate
right,
it. This is.
I'm back. I'm back.
Uh,
Um, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I had to grab my headphones.
no
But
problem. No problem. Yeah, we can hear you fine.
yeah. I mean, this just speaks to the delusion that a lot of this, social media, Instagram, Vogue magazine, and
Yeah.
all of these different, business tactics that caters to women, especially, has really diluted, people's minds. A lot of people don't understand money and finances the way they think they do. When you talk about what men have to deal with on an everyday basis, as far as the way finances are going, this economy, the way the economy is plummeting, and inflation, and people losing their minds, getting evicted. That's something, a lot of women that are influenced to think the opposite when it comes to luxurious lifestyles. They'll tell you they don't want to look at stuff like that because it's too depressing. When in
Mm-hmm,
reality,
mm-hmm.
man, we don't have any choice because we're the ones that got to
Yeah.
go out here and go into the world and try to move and maneuver through it. So, but yeah, just the fact that you think somebody's going to be paying $1,800, you really think you some type of Instagram model, sweetheart. You think you're in a you think you're in a rap video. You've been listening to a little
Yeah.
bit too much Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, and Nicki Minaj. You've been listening
Yeah.
to a little bit too much of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that some of these women shouldn't be looking at Instagram like that. I mean, there are many of these posters, these Instagram models that they're okay. They're doing what they're doing, but there is something else that they might be doing on the side, and maybe they have like a sugar daddy or something. The thing is that it's costing them. It's costing them. So they're following the wrong example. These women don't necessarily live in the real world. Okay, some of them may be traveling to Dubai and all of that, but we know what they say. You know what they say about the about women that get flown out to Dubai. I mean, it's not pretty. Hey, Magic Mulata, what's going on, chica? I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure that the link is there if you wanna come up.
Shout out to Magic Mulata.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel free to come on up because sometimes we're having these conversations amongst men, but we don't have a problem with having like the female point of view, the woman's point of view. It's a combo. It's a combo. It's a hangout. Nobody's gonna be arguing. Nobody's gonna try and shame anybody. But we do have our perspective. We do have our point of view, and we stand on it. But we're not being disrespectful
Yeah.
with it. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Magic, you don't. This is a safe space for everyone to express their point of view. Just be mindful
Mhm.
that we have our point of view as men. That's all.
No, and you might not agree with it, but if you have like a rebuttal or you think that we are wrong about it, it is perfectly fine for you to express that. I mean, because well, no, we don't get into the ratchetness here, and that's why I don't have much of an audience because I don't do ratchet. I don't do ratchetness. It's all gonna be. Maybe I should do
Ramon,
more
I don't have much of
controversial.
an understand what you're coming.
What's that?
Um, maybe you should talk about the cold.
About the what? About the cold? No, 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 no.
Well,
Today it was okay. Today it was a little bit better. The sun actually came out, but it's still a little chilly. So that's all I'm gonna say about that because I'm already hating it. It's still only November, so no, 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 no cold weather talk. You can have that. Yeah.
I don't want to be
So I
selfish
think
now.
what's that?
No,
What
go
was that?
ahead,
I say?
Rocky. I think you wanted to say something.
Yeah, okay.
No, no, I said I think Rakim wanted to say something. So Rakim, go ahead.
I don't know. He might be. I know that he's around, but he might be on the road. So at any time he can jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, you cut out. What was that?
I said Magic is asking about what we are talking about.
No, we just started this stream, so it's kind of like an open topic. And actually, you can ask a question if you like. I mean, because we started reviewing something that Rakim sent me on Instagram. I'm gonna try and play it again. Apparently Rakim was having an issue, so I'm gonna be sharing the screen, and I'm gonna be playing it again.
My rent here like 1,800 though.
Oh, word, that's what's up.
Yeah. So if we start when you said that like you gonna start paying my rent.
Absolutely not. I don't know you.
But you're gonna get to know me.
I don't mean I'm about to pay your rent because I'm getting to know you.
Yeah, but like you make money, so
Okay, but what again? What does my money got to do with you?
Talk to a bad bitch, you gotta take care of it.
I don't have to do nothing.
I mean,
I don't have to do nothing.
You're new here,
You feel
so
me?
you don't know, but you meet a bad. You gotta take care of her, especially if she lives somewhere like this.
You know where I live? I live in the penthouse in River Oaks around the corner.
Yeah.
So I don't need to.
So that means you have the money.
Okay, I have the money for me. I don't fucking know. You haven't told me about you. And you ain't asked me.
Because we didn't get to know each other yet.
Okay,
I'm
then,
just
but look,
letting you know my standards.
No.
So if you start talking to me, you know you gotta pay my.
Look, I'm not paying
my
your
rent.
rent. I'm not paying your rent. So maybe we wasting time here.
Okay. I mean, I guess I feel like you should think differently.
No, but I'm not. I'm not gonna. This is the thing. I'm not gonna think different.
I feel like
so if you want me to pay your rent, you can get out. Cause
my rent here like 1,800 pounds.
Okay, you saw you saw the Instagram video, and the thing is that it looks like it could have been staged. A lot of these videos that you see on Instagram, like the other video that I just played of the girls that were looking at themselves in the kind of like kind of looking at themselves at the glass of a car. I mean, it might have been staged and it was funny. So that was something else. Magic, you're saying that he don't value her, but the thing, no, but Magic, I understand what you're saying, but the thing is that two things. It seemed like they were going on a first date together, so she's in no position to be demanding that he pays for her living expenses. I mean, she's an adult; she's supposed to take care of that on her own. The so. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The video is fake, but that doesn't mean that situations like that are not happening in real life. That's what we were just talking about. So, Rakim, if you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, the like the state of entitlement, and it's almost like she was trying to run game on him. Did you hear that? Like, oh well, maybe it's because you're new here, and like maybe you don't understand how this goes. Like, are you kidding me, sweetheart? Like, who in their right mind? How do you think I'm gonna pay $1,800 worth of your rent and I don't even know you? What are you talking about? And you trying to make it seem like it's some type of transaction. What makes I'm gonna get a little vulgar here, but what makes between your legs so honey and gold that I'm paying $1,800 to a woman that I don't even know? And you can tell what she's saying is regurgitated based off of what she's learned. And I'm like, y'all really must think it's a lot of men out here that's stupid. Like,
Mhm.
what's going on here? Did we miss something? I think we might have missed something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It is unfortunate, and it may get worse. Uh, it could be getting worse because of what is going on with the economy. As men, yes, we do have somewhat of a duty, but to the women that we are actually with. If we're going out on a date with somebody new, then they don't have a right to be straight up demanding. Because she was damn near demanding that he pays for his for her living expenses. I'm gonna bring you up. I'm gonna bring you up. Yeah, don't ask her to do it on the first date. Yeah. What's going on, Magic? Hello?
Shout out to you, Magic. How you doing?
Good evening,
Okay.
Magic.
Uh, can't hear you. All right.
Um,
Yeah, we see you're kind of like muting and unmuting yourself, but we can't hear you. Okay. 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 She clicked out. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, try it again. Click out and click back in. Check your device or your microphone to make sure that we can hear you on the stream. And click back in. So you were saying, Rakim, you were mentioning.
Yeah, it's just the level of entitlement, and you got like social media because in certain aspects, social media has become worse than television
Hmm.
because it's literally a rush of information, unedited, just raw information that's based off of people that don't even have what I'm looking for, the experience like in the television to be well polished with the information that they're giving, even though it's misinformation. So, people are listening to their favorite content creators, and their favorite content creators are purposely misleading them more. They're listening to certain hip hop artists, and they're purposely misleading them and tell them that, hey, you deserve this, you deserve that, you a bad bitch this, and Birkin bag this, and Louis Vuitton that. And meanwhile, they saying that so you can be able to buy or stream their records so they can get out of debt in the contracts that they in.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
people don't put two and two together. It's just like, I mean, when I was coming up as a kid, you was a young man, um, a young teenage man, Ramon. I didn't know that a lot of those gangster rappers was not really gangsters, and they was just
Oh, the
rapping about
perfect example. The perfect example, both Dr. Dre and Ice Cube. if you look into their background, ECE was something else. I don't know about somebody like MC Ren, because I've never heard of anything about. I have never heard of anything about MC Ren being in trouble like that or being like a gangbanger like that. In Yella, I don't think he was that either. We've never heard anything about Yella being in trouble, but I'm positive that neither Ice Cube or Dr. Dre, because Dre, I remember back in the day in one of the interviews that he did with MTV, he was talking about that he wasn't no gangster, that he was doing what he was doing to make money. I remember that very well. That was back in the 90s that he said that. So he wasn't into the gang banging shit. The problem is that when he got with Suge Knight, that's when he was kind of like very close to it, and they were together for a while, and they were able to do good business together, and it was very profitable. But eventually, because the things were kind of like spiraling out of control, Dr. Dre felt like he had to kind of like get away from Suge Knight, and that's when he got out of Death Row, got out of the record label, and he had to leave a lot of things behind, and he had to give up all of the master recordings of his music, and Suge Knight left him out of the contract. But it was under a bit of a threat because he could have gotten hurt if he didn't agree to leave everything that all of his interests in the company behind. I mean,
Well,
he left
because
some money behind too.
he had a previous warning based off of what he saw should do to Easy to get him out of his contract. Because apparently they jumped Easy. You know, they showed him pictures of where his mother lived and where his family lived and what they was going to do if he didn't let Dre out of the contract. So Dre didn't want the same thing to be done to him to get him in that situation in the first place. But yeah, like so that's just that's just an example. A lot of women think that, you know, a lot of these women are living, you know, these different lives. And the funny thing is they project this stuff to a lot of young ladies. Meanwhile, they're in relationships. Beyonce is not leaving Jay-Z. You know,
Oh no. No. I mean, because she's not gonna upgrade from that. I mean, Beyonce, she's a diva, and a lot of women see her as a queen and all of that. Okay, but let's say that she gets divorced. Let's say that she gets divorced. How is she gonna upgrade from Jay-Z, who's worth, I don't know, like $500 million or something like that? Let me bring up Magic. What's up, Magic? Hello? Hello, we still can't hear you. Try and check your device, because we can't hear you. I don't know what's up. Hey,
Okay,
Jose.
hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, just I was having some, I hate to say it, technical difficulties.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm not gonna say it. You know what is usually the joke about your internet connection.
Well, just bear in mind, I'm not the only one to have technical difficulties, so just be mindful of that.
Yeah, but I don't know what's up with Magic, because I have heard her jump on streams and she usually doesn't have a problem. So I don't know what's going on this one. So hopefully, maybe your device, maybe you can restart your device, and also before you jump into the stream, check that it's working, that the microphone on your device is working, if you can hear me. So I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
Yeah, but even some of us guys, we're kind of like bracing ourselves for the whole thing about the recession that I think is already here. I mean, there are people that
oh
go
no,
on
it's
and
been
on.
here. It's been here.
Yeah, because I was
It
talking.
came a couple of months ago when my rent went up.
Yeah. No, definitely. No, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's like yeah, I was talking to my to an advisor that I keep in touch with, and he was telling me, I was saying that well, it might be an upcoming recession, and he was like, no, he corrected me. No, the recession is already here. We're already in a recession. Like, it's not that it's coming; it's already here. So,
Uh, Speaking about recession, do you know who's planning to run again in 2024?
who's trying to what? You sound a little bit low. What was that?
Donald Trump.
Oh yeah. He announced that he's gonna be running again, but I don't know how. I don't know how's that gonna be because he's kind of beefing with the Santis. So I don't know what's gonna happen there. I mean, okay, he can run if he wants, but if the GOP don't want him there, he's not gonna beat them. I mean, they're gonna be maybe like a low key control opposition, and it's just not. It's not likely. It's not likely. I could be proven wrong. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. That's fine. But
Well, the fact that it is, well,
it's
the
not
fact
likely.
that
It's not
okay,
likely.
I'm sorry.
What was that?
Yeah, I said that. You know what? I completely forgot what I was about to say. I mean, the
Mhm.
fact of the matter is, he can run, but you know, I don't know who would be crazier, him or the people that will support him.
Well, you know the he said himself that he loves people that don't know much, something along those lines. They don't uh, that they don't do their own thinking. They depend on others to do their thinking for them. I mean, those are usually his voters. But I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, the thing is that he's
Well,
gonna
actually,
he's gonna be saying what his
actually,
base want to
I'm
hear, but it's not gonna be anything concrete on his platform. Go on ahead. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah, you were gonna say
Well, next week, how and
you're breaking up. You're breaking up, Don Jose.
oh,
Mm.
Yeah, I'll go. But yeah, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. But unfortunately, I think what has happened with this country is kind of imploding somewhat because there's too many people that can easily be manipulated into believing something
Mhm.
that is not in their own best interest. And then when you take ignorance and you mix it with pride, because some people will stand by something that even when they find out it's really not what it is, they like, well, it's too late for me to turn back now, so I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. They don't want to come across as being fake or hypocritical or
You know,
doing a 180 on what they were supporting before, what they were rooting for, who they were rooting for, and then people are gonna think of them as being fake. They're not gonna believe them. So that could very well be it.
yeah. And we're at the point now where it's like a lot of people
yeah.
are just out for self. We're so used to the government thinking for us that we don't even want to realize that the government never really had our best interests at heart. The only
Yeah,
difference between America and a lot of the other countries is that the abundance of wealth, even though it's been hoarded for the top 3%, we was getting sprinkles of the crumbs, and now we're left
Hmm.
amongst ourselves fighting for the crumbs, and nobody cares about nobody. You have a lot of people that pretend that they do, but a lot of people don't
Hmm.
care about anybody, and they're trying to just get theirs for theirs, and who else that's like minded that think like them.
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing about the trickle down economics that never changed. That's remember the whole trickle down economics. What you just described. That's basically what it is. That's Reaganomics. Trickle down. The whole trickle down effect in which
Yeah,
you're gonna give all of the tax cuts to the rich, and they're not creating any jobs. If they're creating jobs, it's gonna be in another country, not here, because they're gonna pay next to nothing. And all of these corporations that made record levels when it comes to profits in the middle of a pandemic. So the they're getting their breaks, their tax breaks and all. Anybody that can claim to have a corporation, they're getting tax breaks and welfare for them. That's why I wouldn't be too much into trying to shame another person for getting on welfare, even though that should be a temporary solution to a situation, or kind of like a temporary measure. Um, but the reason I could never try to shame somebody for getting on welfare is because the country, the government gives a lot of welfare to the rich. I mean, they have all kinds of tax shelters and things that allow
yeah.
them to keep most
Bank
of the money.
bailouts,
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
else, man. And a
The
lot of
whole too
us
big
like,
for fail, the whole too big for fail thing that
and like you said,
Obama was talking about. Yeah,
the trickle down effect, because the crumbs are trickling down from the jaws of the elite as they munch on all of the wealth in this country, and
hmm,
they screwed everyone. But some of us as people at the bottom, some of us don't want things to change. We just want our slice of the pie.
yeah.
If it's some people that don't mind whatever's happening to everybody else as long as they're getting theirs. And I do believe that we have people within our society that, if given the chance, they would do the exact same thing that the elite is doing. They would say that they for the people until they get into ranks of power, and then they'll be doing the same. They'll be doing the same thing in the positions of the people that had, uh, created this system to begin with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Another example, kind of like what you were showing, kind of like this. I don't know if this is also that this. I don't know if this is also staged. It could be. It could be because a lot of these situations, a lot of these videos that we see, they're really staged. So let me see if I can get it to play. Not Andrew Tate. That's not what I'm trying to play. Hang on.
It's a completely different realm.
Like, you really just should have paid for all of our food.
For one, I'm not paying for everybody's food. It's your birthday, cool, but I'm not doing that. It's 18.
Why do T gotta pay for all y'all food though?
You got 18 things. I'm finna leave you. You staying here with them or you coming with me? You are you?
Oh,
Okay, wait, I have a question. Would you rather kiss the prettiest girl?
Yeah, and the thing is that they do that out in public, kind of like trying to embarrass somebody. I mean, that's just so
Yeah.
messed up.
Or the one where the woman wanted her boyfriend to pay for $3,300 bag. Then they got to the register. I'm not paying for that. She said, "Oh my God, this is so embarrassing." It goes to
Yeah,
show you. Listen, a lot of women, and this is not for the good women, because we got a lot of good women out here, but a lot of women
yeah,
don't understand that they are easily manipulated and exploited based off of their feeling and they urge based off of their feelings and their urge to want to feel good about things. A lot of women's depression is manufactured to be capitalized off of. If I tell you that you don't need a man, you should be single and independent, and single women are the happiest, nature is going to play against that. Because even though I'm telling you this and I'm promoting the media to your favorite actors and actresses to tell you this, at the end of the day, you're the one that's living with yourself and you feel the exact opposite. But since you feel the exact opposite, you're going to look for something that's going to make you feel better. Because
Mhm.
I'm lying to you and telling you something that I know is not true, but the lie is wrapped in velvet, your favorite Louis Vuitton package, and it is hard to for you to believe the hard to honest truth because the lie looks so well. And what happens is that a lot of these women become miserable as time goes on, so they continue to buy things, you know, um, they continue to buy things that are expensive to cope with them believing this lie for so long. And a lot of the times people don't know how to go back. It's if I was to believe that I was strong and independent for so long, and if I was
Yeah.
trained to look at men as the devil or look at them as evil, how do I start with how do I start back with loving these men? I don't know how. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how to. So I'm stuck in a limbo, and I need you to feed me some more direction to keep things going the way that I need them. That I need to go because now I'm like short circuited. My mind is going in three different directions, and I don't know what to believe. And that's what you have with some of the ladies out here today.
Hmm. Hey, Morena, what's going on, chica? What's happening? Hey, and Magic.
Oh, that's my
Question.
girl right there. That's my girl right there. Shout out to Morena Reyes.
Yes, yes. I mean, and Magic, both Magic and Morena. Do you think that in this situation, do they have a grain of truth? Is there some truth to them? I'm gonna show again the last video so that Morena can see it and hear it. I'm gonna rewind there really quick so that she has an idea what we're talking about. Da, 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 da. Because I have to share
Sorry,
the doggone
Morena.
screen. Okay, let me share this. Just that I have to do a few clicks before I can share something.
All our food.
For one, I'm not paying for everybody's food. It's your birthday, cool, but I'm not doing that. It's 18.
Why do T gotta pay for all y'all food though?
You brought 18 things. I'm finna leave you. You staying here with them or you coming with me? You are you?
Oh,
Okay, wait, I have a question.
And that's messed up because she just put him on blast. So everybody, the other guy, there was another guy that started going like, oh. I mean, like,
Yeah.
shut up.
And like what
It
you
was
saying,
funny.
like you know, it's just crazy how entitled certain people can be. And Mulata, I don't want to sound biased, anything like that. I know I have a habit of sounding like that coming from the man's perspective, but I don't really see a lot of entitlement with a lot of men, like especially men of means, men that have to go out and provide and work because don't nobody really caters to men's feelings. Like you don't see media anything that caters to men. Men are the ones that's kind of like always the ones that's kind of like doing the dirty work to make sure that society is sustainable. So I don't really like see it. I don't see it like I see more misandry within the
Mhm.
media of anti male hating media than I've seen of men being
Yeah.
entitled to anything. Now, a man that's in an economic bracket of in the millions or in extremely rich, he's going to be entitled because he has the means to, he has the money, and the money is what the women want, and he knows that it's going to be 200 to 300 women a night knocking at his door. So what one won't do, he'll replace them with the other. And most women know that because that's the person um who they're who they're trying to get at. But you said Magic Mulata says a lot of men feel entitled to a woman's body, and that's wrong too. How so? Magic, I need you to explain that one to me because we've been bombarded with I can do what I want with my body for so long and my body, my choice type of rhetoric for God knows how long. A lot of men are not even approaching women these days, so
No,
I'm
no.
I'm
I
I'm
mean, there
interested to
are women
know.
that are complaining about that. There are women that are complaining about that. That they go out, they go to kind of like meeting places or bars, and men are not approaching them anymore because they're trying to avoid frivolous accusation. There are women even at the workplaces that are actually complaining about the men not wanting to talk to them. But I mean, that's what they wanted. Isn't that what they wanted? Isn't that what they asked for? Now they're having the situation where at the workplace, men don't want to fraternize with the coworkers, with the female coworkers, and to the point that they don't want to be alone with them. They don't want to go on a business trips with a female coworker. They would rather go with a male coworker because they're trying to avoid some frivolous accusation of them having done anything inappropriate. Because we're living in a time where society will believe the woman, workplaces will believe the woman, and the man's career and him being able to make a living, all of that can be taken away. In his life, it could be destroyed. His life could be destroyed, not being able to have a living. Yeah, and that's what women wanted. Let's be perfectly let's be perfectly honest. Women, that's what women demanded. They're getting it now, but now they're complaining because women don't want to talk to them. Because men, I should say, men don't want to talk to them. So which one is it?
Okay,
Or
but
is
you
it?
know what I think? Excuse me, guys. But you know what I think is a problem, and some the ladies are going to get upset with me. But some women, they really don't know what they want. So they want to be independent boss chicks. They want to go and um, ride the rooster and what have you, and have a whole bunch of bodies and run through what have you, but yet they want to be treated like traditional women. Okay, but yet they want to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Not with us, Morana. This is more with younger generations, but it has gotten progressively worse because when back in the day it was women who were more into men and men into women. Now with this like kind of like separatist mindset, you got a lot of women that are just doing certain things to impress other women. Um, if you got women that literally want this type of ideal dream man on her arm just so her girlfriends could be like, oh girl, you got you a good one. Because like women's perspective on men as far as what a man is supposed to be are not realistic these days. The standards have drastically changed due to the propaganda that's been put out there, that a lot of women don't really, their standards on men or what they think. They think it's a Michael B. Jordan walking around every corner, or a Morris Chestnut walking around every corner, or a Brad Pitt walking around every corner. And even if they don't think that, they think their chances are stronger than the next woman's. Even if women, that are in those circles are even having a hard time getting men like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just looking at a little something here.
Okay.
Okay, you were saying, Jose. Yeah, it's just that I'm looking at something over here really quick.
Yeah, but I truly believe that this now. I'm going to say some women, they really don't know what they want. I mean, on the one hand, they want men to approach them, but then again, at the same time, they make all these crazy demands. The man's gotta have a six pack. He's gotta be 6 feet tall, and he's gotta make a six-figure income. And even with all that, they expect the men to have be like 20 bags of chips and whatnot.
Yeah. Want to know, want to know where y'all are meeting the shitty woman? No, well, What do you mean, Morena? What do you mean with shitty women? What are you talking about?
She said like where all of
I
these
think I
women
think
at? They around. They're around.
Hmm. People trying to live out this messed up society and the mixed messages is a problem. Well, there is a communications issue there. There's a communication when it comes to communication between men and women, there can be misunderstandings. Now, I know that I'm gonna be something biased, but women are pretty straightforward when it comes to communicate what's in our minds out our
Because
mouth.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be me if I didn't say this. So I gotta, and Mulata Magic Mulata is gonna know where I where I'm coming from, because I hate this particular content creator with a passion. I'll give you the perfect example. Let's take Chrissy for a second. Chrissy has
Hmm.
purposely misled her audience in the arguments of colorism, in the arguments of hypergamy, in the arguments of dealing with men and bashing black men. And her audience believed this. Oh, that's over 212,000 people that are being misled with misinformation, that they are internalizing this information and is purposely going out there and will self sabotage themselves without even realizing it, based off of capitalism and based off of, because see, it's people within our communities that know they can't exploit like people exploit at the top, so they prey on people within their own communities to exploit so they can get the bag and rub elbows with people at the top. And that's one example right there. This person
Hmm.
has literally, made a killing off of cash apps and super chats and pretty much YouTube checks that's being mailed to
Yeah.
their home based off of misinformation and turning people against each other and making people target and hate men or certain groups of men. And while she's running off with the bag, those women's are a lot of women are left there to hold it, and they're not even going to realize why they're miserable 10 to 15 years later because of the misinformation that they fed into. So we talking about hours of content watching, hours of watching that particular content, hours of watching Paris Milan, hours of watching Real
Yeah.
Talk with Yanni, different
And
things like
the
that.
thing is, yeah, and a lot of the thing is that a lot of these young women, some of them, they are taking in and they're internalizing experiences that are getting secondhand, and they're kind of like making them their personal reality, even though they never went through these situations with men. Things that have to do with abuse, or whether verbal abuse, physical abuse, and all of that. They're internalizing some other woman's experience, and because of that, they're already making decisions as to who they're gonna be interacting in the future, because some of these young women are very young, they're very impressionable, and they don't really have the experience like that, but they're taking secondhand experience, and they're making decisions based on that when they don't have the experience themselves, and they haven't really lived life like that. And these content creators are kind of ruining it for a lot of people, and they might realize that they were duped into taking certain attitudes, and they might realize too late that they made a mistake. It
And
happens,
that's one
man.
thing, and that's one thing for us to understand that. And I want everybody to heed my words on this one. Take
Hmm.
heed to Apostles' warning. When you start seeing these women lay off of this rage content that they've created, that's mean they've made enough money off of YouTube of selling rage content, and they're taking that money to invest into other business ventures. So years from now, Paris Milan, Chrissy, Real Talk with Yanni, um, Cynthia G, um, Mahogany Pink, and all of these other male hating, especially anti-black male hating content creators. Once they've made their money, they're going to be doing other business ventures, and they're going to pretend that they were never these people online.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be like born again or something. They're gonna be acting like not that happened. The way that they came to prominence and they were able to get some money out of it, they're gonna act like that never happened. And they're gonna be leaving a trail of miserable women behind them, because they took their advice so seriously, and they made decisions based on that, and they're finding themselves to be incompatible with being able to get into a into a real relationship with a man, because they have kind of been ruined. I mean, they were pimped basically. I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. But
Yeah,
you know
so-
what people really need to understand, once you show something on the internet, it stays there. I mean, you can try to pretend that you're something you're not, but once you air something in the internet, whether it be 5 years, 10 years, it's permanent there. Okay. And
Mhm.
even if you delete it, some people can screen save the material. So what gets on the internet stays on the internet.
Yeah. Oh no, the internet never forgets. Remember that. So you have to be very careful as to what you post, what you put out there, public for the public to watch. You have to be very careful, because it can be used against you. Now people can change. People over the years, we all do a little bit of changes, because we grow up, we grow older, and our mentality it is not meant to stay exactly the same throughout our lives. It's always going to change a little bit. So be very conscious of that. Anybody who is not like a content creator like that, they need to be careful with what they put out there for everybody to see, because it can be used against them. Even on what some people post on Twitter. There are things that people post on Twitter like back in 2012, and it comes
Come
back
back to haunt you.
to
Come back to
haunt them,
haunt you.
even if it's not really that big of a deal, but they will use it as kind of like use it against them, kind of like to smear their character. No. So let me see if we can get Mulata to join.
Hi guys, I fixed my audio. Okay.
Hey, we
There you
can
go.
hear
There
you.
you go.
There it is.
Third
I'm a
time's a charm.
genius. I know how. Okay, I'm just kidding, but yeah. But yeah, it's a good topic, guys, because I do think like when it comes to men and women, like issues, it does take really good communication between us. And here's my thing: I want to like ask you guys. So
Yes.
you know how us women, it's like we do genuinely have issues with some men, and it's like, how do we critique men where it's like it's not coming off like you're hating men, and then how do we like? I feel like it's always like feelings and egos getting hurt. And then, men, it's like when they actually have genuine critiques of women, and it's like, a lot of women's feelings and egos get hurt as well. And then it's like, it fuels this whole gender war thing. So it's like, how do we, like I was saying earlier, how it's like, it's wrong for a man to, feel entitled to a woman's body. Cause I've had those experiences where it's like, I say no, and a man is like, can't take that for an answer. Just like how this woman was like, trying to say he was saying no, putting his foot down and like, no, I'm not going to pay for everybody. And then she feels entitled and couldn't take it for an answer. So it's like, those are genuine concerns. That it's like, if we fix that, we're not entitled to anything. We could help heal like the divide between men and women, So how do we like genuinely critique each other without it coming off as like, I hate you, or you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you guys think that?
No, one way to do that will be to take the emotions out of it. One can make an objective critique without getting carried away with involving one's feelings into it. Because so much of the time, somebody is making a critique, and you can little by little start hearing that they're involving their emotions into it, and following that, it can get carried away, and that's when the insults start to follow it. And you can make a critique, but the insults are not really necessary. You're getting into disrespecting, and then somebody could say, "Oh, I'm talking like this because I'm being passionate." No, that's a cop out. I hate that, because somebody will say they start raising their voice and they start yelling and cussing, and maybe they started making a good point, but when they start getting into the shouting and the cussing and all of that, you can hear that they are emotional already, and they're not being objective anymore. Now they're just ranting, and that's not gonna help heal anything. If anything, it's gonna keep the wounds open. It's gonna keep they're only gonna make things worse. The thing is, like, we do need to talk to each other. You are never going to hear me, and I don't think you're going to hear the guys on this panel saying that we don't need no woman. We don't talk like that. Women talk about that they don't need no man, but we as men, we don't say we don't need no woman. We want a woman in our lives. Now, if we were to be left alone, we could survive because we could be at peace. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we don't want a woman in our lives, and we have a need because of the way that we are hardwired. We need to have the companionship. Yes, we do. Yes, we do need it to an extent. But if we don't have it, but if we don't have it, I think that many of us, we can be alone for a while and be at peace. Take that time to work on ourselves, to do something for ourselves. Maybe, I mean. Getting like another job, getting improve some things in our lives, and we can do that without having to worry about another person all the time. So there is a positive to it, but eventually we want to be able to be in good company and also have a relationship, because that's the way that we're made. We're hardwired to be with each other. But we don't have these issues, we do have these problems, but we need to be able to talk to each other. We're living in a time when it's difficult for us to communicate with each other. And I don't want to sound like I'm bashing. I don't want to sound like I'm bashing women, but sometimes it's difficult to talk to the ladies. It's difficult to talk to the women, and more these days because
we gotta learn to control our emotions. All of us as human beings, we all gotta learn how to control our emotions and be able to, stay grounded and not let our emotions control us. Because that. But I want to say about I hate how this whole culture. Oh, hi Denise. But I hate how this whole culture of dating has turned into what can I'm just trying to use up and get as much as I can out of this person, and that's it. It's not really trying to. Oh, I'm trying to really see if I'm compatible with this person. If I really I could build a life with this person. It's like on the men's side, there's a lot of men that just want to go around using women, running game, trying to get as much sex out of they can. And then on the woman's side, it's they're just trying to get as much money as they can out of some dudes, and they're just trying to run game and finesse. And it's it's not really about, it's just so selfish. It's not really about trying to actually find a good compatible companion anymore. It's just about trying to run game and finesse and get all you can out of people. And it's just I hate that. I think that's toxic. It's horrible.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ramon.
No, really quick. One example of one person trying to use the other is when it comes to, I don't know if you have heard of the term foodie call. A foodie call, that's when, let's say, you got these women that have this Simpson speed dial that they make sure to call them when they need to get a free meal. I mean, because there are many of these women that they look really good, but they're broke, so they have a different guy on speed dial for every day of the week, so they can get a free meal out of them. I mean, that's an example of somebody trying to use someone else. Now, there are guys that are players, there are guys that are cultivating options.
They got a different woman on speed dial. Need to get some. That's wrong too. That's just using. I just feel like people. There's this whole culture of just I'm just going to use as much people. It's what's that saying? People are things are supposed to be used and people are supposed to be loved, but nowadays it's only people are used and things are loved. It's kind of how we got things so backwards nowadays. It's just crazy. So, but I do want to speak on my experience about being misled. You guys are talking about like being misled by women or being misled in their relationships or whatever, right? So here's my experience.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to say one thing before you start.
Mhm,
Yeah, because like we've had that conversation before, and
mhm.
I hate content creators like Chrissy and these different content creators because they cause so much division for the wrong reasons.
It did cause,
And
yeah. But you
and
know who
and
misled me? You know who it was? You guys know about Ashira? No, Shira 7. You guys know her?
yes, I'm very familiar with She-Ra
It
7.
was
I've
her.
heard the name. I've heard the name. Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you about my experience. Okay, so me and my husband got together, and
Mhm.
when we got together, we didn't really have too much money. I was like, okay, I really want to look at somebody's character more than money or whatever. It's fine. It's okay. Even though I do think that of course money is important when it comes to a relationship, like having your financial life together. So I would like, yeah, I think I think your financial life is very important when it comes to dating, having that together. But I wasn't really looking for that. I was just looking for a companion, like I said, somebody who's compatible with me, somebody who, that's what I was looking for. I wasn't really looking to use somebody up for their money or nothing. So, anyways, we got together. We're married and not married, but not married yet, but we're together. And we ended up having because I had a child first, but then we ended
Mhm.
up getting married later on. But so we were together and we were kind of struggling a little bit because having a kid, I was a stay-at-home mom. He wasn't making so much money. But I started listening to Shira 7. She's like, "Oh, you just need to get a man with money." Da, 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 da. And I started looking at him different. I was like, "Yeah, why isn't he bringing enough money to him?" Da, da, da. And I started like, kind of disrespecting him. So I was looking at him different. Like she's saying the only reason why you need a man is for money. And I started looking at him different. I was like, "Oh, you're not bringing enough money in here." Da, 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 da. But we talked like it kind of it did cause a divide in my relationship. Like it made me feel like, oh, like I failed. Like, oh, I didn't get a man with that was making one, like that whole fantasy 1% of men. I didn't get that, so I failed or something. Like that's how it made me feel. Like and
Yeah.
then but we talked about it. Like it did cause a big divide. I didn't want to break up with my husband, and I have a child with him because oh,
Yeah.
he's not. It was that's crazy, right? Like I feel like that has happened with women where they're with a man, they have a child with, and then they're trying to go off this fantasy of like, oh, you could get this 1% of men that's like, because we're all out here struggling. Like this whole system is messed up towards everybody. Mostly, most people are just regular people working regular jobs, but
You know what? You are speaking logic, girl. You are speaking logic, and it
Yes.
is
No,
refreshing
it's
to
true.
hear.
It's true because
Jesus Christ.
you could have easily gone on
Yes, it
and
is.
done the whole monkey branching thing and try to
yeah,
get, because there are women.
that's
I'm not
right.
saying you. I'm not saying that you will do that, but there are women that
That
would
would have
actually
done that.
do
I'm
that.
pretty sure there's a lot of women that have like looked at their men different because they're watching these videos about, oh, you got to do
Yeah.
this, and then they break up and they have a child with them. But the reality is, it's harder to find another man because if you have a child, there's a lot of different factors that play in. It's like, because personally, me, I was like, I wouldn't want my child to have like a stepfather because I'm like, I know the statistics about how they're more likely to abuse children, and there's a lot of molestation with stepfather. So it was like, once you look at those stats, it's like, I don't really want that. I don't really want no other man to be like
Yeah.
stepfather. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that. But anyways, so it's just bad. Like you could really easily get misled because like, yeah, we are it's like women trying to press other women, like you said.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, we know that. We know
Yeah.
that because when women will spend hours on getting their hair done, getting their nails done, getting their outfit right, and their shoes to get ready to go to the club and not talk to men. I mean, and be mean mugging men and but they're trying to impress their girlfriends. They're trying to impress other women. I mean,
Mhm.
when women we get dressed and we're going to some place where there's gonna be people, we try to dress nice so we cause a good impression on the women. That's the logical thing to do. We're trying to make a good impression on the opposite gender. But the thing is that a lot of women they get dressed up, they spend hours getting ready to go out to the club. But what they're really trying to do is impress other women. And part of impressing other women is how much attention they can get and how much validation they can get. They don't care. They don't give a shit about the men, but they care about the
I've
validation and the
noticed that
attention that
though.
they
Like
can get. Yes.
Like real talk, you don't really need to do way too much to impress a man. Like you just like put on a nice dress, little
No.
makeup. Like you don't gotta do way
Exactly.
too much. Like, you really don't. Like
No.
you don't have to overdo it.
Exactly.
Honestly, you really
But you
Absolutely.
don't.
know what?
Like
Correct.
You know,
you
That's
really don't.
absolutely
you know
correct.
what it comes
Mhm.
down to.
Mhm.
What it comes down to is that a lot of women are just not don't are afraid to admit it. They just don't know men. They don't know
Mhm.
anything about
No,
men.
and one
They
problem.
that
You gotta
Uh-huh.
get to
you
know
know.
each other. That's what's so important. Like it's like if you
But,
can you love something you can't understand, you know? It's like you have to understand somebody in
Mhm.
order
but
to really
see,
love them
I,
properly,
I I
right?
just wanted to say this. I just wanted to say this. Like as far as women impressing other women, you have women that literally go to the club, and it's not even about the men talking to them. It's about the men. A lot of women are getting upset because it's not enough men coming up to them for them to reject to
Mm,
boost their own
Yeah,
ego.
that's starting to change
that's
a little bit.
toxic.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like it's kind of like the situation
You
with the
should feel
guys
good
at
about yourself
work.
either way, no matter if a man's checking for you or if they're not. Like you're self confident, like
Yeah,
self confidence. It should
yeah,
you should feel good about yourself either way. You shouldn't
but
have to
yeah,
reject
like
it.
you,
Like that's
you,
crazy.
yeah, you literally want women literally want men to come up to them to reject them, to make them feel better about their ego,
Yeah,
and it's almost like, are you a child? All of this is around. This is very childlike. You get
yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Might as
this
well
is
throw a tantrum or something like that because that's what
and
children
like
do. You know that magic.
a,
You're a
a, a
man.
lot and a lot of these women, they like what we were saying, they want to impress other women, and then till it's time, I'm like, even now you got a lot of women that go on these different girl trips and everything like that, and some of these women have become so insufferable, they have no choice but to be around other women. they
Hmm.
they, they don't have any choice, and God forbid if any of these women get get a man, they're going to be hating in the background because
Okay,
they
so
really
can we
want that
talk
as well, but
about
they don't know how.
let's talk about on the male side a little bit. So I do think that a lot of men kind of do the same thing. It's like they try to, impress other men and that hurts them too. Because I read a book. It was a book called like I don't know. It was written by like Tyrese Gibson and Rev Run of all people. It was talking about like how men think. Like I was trying to understand how men think or whatever, right?
You were reading a book by Tyrese Gibson.
Um,
Come on now.
Yeah,
What was
I
it?
know it's stupid, but they were saying how they were talking about like and you when you in the hood or whatever, they're talking about like from a black male perspective that was like, and you're growing up like it's like you try to do everything for other men's respect, like they were saying how a
Mhm.
lot of men they just want to go out and fuck a bunch of bitches and have a bunch of sex with women because that what's impress other men, like it's like oh yeah he's getting pussy, he's getting women, like that's impresses other men, so it's like they were saying how a lot of men they go around hurting women and just like trying to have sex with them, just collect bodies because it impresses other men, and it's like that hurts women and that hurts themselves because it's like you're just trying to use women up, and so you could get like male validation and male respect from other men. So it's like what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think about what do y'all think about that?
Okay, Don Jose,
It's
you wanna chime in, and
uh,
then I'm gonna say something about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. See, what is the problem is just like you have certain women that have the wrong concept of what a woman should be. You have certain
Mm-hmm.
men that have the wrong concept of what a man should be. I mean, for some people, a man is not a man unless he has like slept with a whole bunch of women. Okay. And
Exactly.
that's a level of immaturity because it's basically what you're saying is your ego is that weak that in order to validate yourself, you have to have slept with a whole bunch of women to do so, and to a certain extent, women are the same way. I mean, they have they feel to have men approach them only for them be able to reject it. So therefore,
Exactly.
when men
Mm-hmm.
don't approach and they get upset because they're not being approached so they can flex their power. And then when you add the fact that there's certain men that are leaving the United States to try to find companionship with other countries, that makes it worse because basically what they do is like, it's like they're giving a whole bunch of competition, and some people cannot deal with competition.
So true. But yeah, that's so true. And it's like I like what he said. It's like men and women, they don't truly want relationships with each other. It's like we don't value each other anymore. It's like, because, relationships between men and women, it used to be based on like survival. Like we have to work together in order to survive. But nowadays, it's like, I don't know. It's just crazy. I feel like we
No,
definitely need to learn how to value each other.
okay, that part about the guys that are players, that's not most men. That's actually like a small group of guys that play those games. That's kind of like young man games, kind of like trying to
Yeah,
rack up
that's like
numbers.
young men.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
It's like young men who weren't like guided properly. And a lot of men, they take these type of things, their mindset into like 40, and they don't ever get married, and they have, and that hurts the community. We were talking about that on Denise's channel, that these people with 3, 4, 5 baby mamas, like it shouldn't be something that's accepted or anything, because like you said, Jose, it's like a wrong idea of what manhood. If you're trying to like validate your manhood through your penis.
Yeah, I wanted to speak on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
The funny thing about these men with 3, 4, 5 baby mamas, it's never been accepted except by one people, and that was the women. You've had women. I mean, you've had women that have intentionally got with these dudes, knowing that these dudes got another 2 baby mamas, or women that purposely want to be with these dudes because they see other women want these dudes.
Okay,
So
there are women. There are women that are lining up to be with Nick Cannon. How many
The
kids does he
cannon.
have?
exactly.
There are women lining
You know
up.
what's
There are
toxic?
women.
This
He's
is
gonna have a
another
few
like
more
trying
babies.
to like
He's gonna
compete
have
with
a few
other
more
women.
babies. Uh-huh.
They want to like
It's-
be the one to like make them settle down and marry them. Like they'll feel like that'll make them feel like they're
Yeah, that's
better than
kind of
all the other.
the whole
It's crazy,
challenge
right?
thing because they
Yeah, it's like
think
a
that
challenge.
they
Like, oh, I'm
can.
gonna be the one to get the ring, and it's just weird.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We got to be honest with that. We can't act like it's men that's going out here and it was just little Red Riding Hood walking down the street, going to grandma's house, and he was the big bad wolf and just snatched her up. No, some of these women have ill intentions, just like the guys that they're dealing with. You got in the inner
Yeah, there's a
cities,
lot
you
of
got
women with ill intentions. I like what Unknown said. It's like you shouldn't just automatically assume a woman is a good person just because she's a woman, and then automatically
absolutely,
assume a man is a good person or a bad person just because he's a man. It's like character. Like anybody can have bad character flaws, men or women.
Yeah.
So it's
Watch
like,
what
but
they do. Watch
but
what
but
we do.
but
Their actions is like a book.
men's character are played against them. Like people prejudge men based off of that notion that
yeah, we
men
have
are
to stop
equal and
judging
that
men and women. Just like we're not supposed to judge people by their race. We shouldn't judge people by their gender, right? You shouldn't just judge
uh,
a woman just because she's a woman.
No, but
easier easier
unfortunately,
easier
uh
said than done because this world is based
definitely,
off of
because unfortunately,
being
unfortunately, in
judgmental.
the society that we live in, for us men, it is always assumed that we are a bunch of assaulters. Just
Mhm.
because we're men, we're automatically assaulters. I mean, that's kind of like the environment, the misandrist, anti-men environment that we're dealing with. I mean, and the movements like Me Too, other movement, other
Yeah, I do
feminist
think there is a lot of
movement.
fear around men. Ain't gonna lie, there is a
Yeah,
lot of
you know
fear.
why?
As a
You know
It's
woman,
why?
it's
justified.
like
It's
there is a
justified.
lot of fear around
No,
men because it's like,
and you know why? You can blame people like Bell Hooks and Alice Walker and
well,
all of these different people. Oh yeah, people like that created this anti-feminist propaganda and pretty much derived like everything is shaped around this fear of men. I'm not saying there's certain men not to be fearful of and be cautious of, but just to think that every man is out here looking to harm somebody or looking to harm and prey on the weak agenda is absolutely asinine.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
like
because okay, for men, right? You guys have? I don't know. I'm asking a genuine question. Do you
Mhm.
guys feel more of an instinct to protect women, and then there's some men that just feel like an instinct to prey on women, or how does that work? Is there
No,
like
no, no, no,
more
no. It's
men that
more
feel
of
like
an
a,
instinct.
or
Uh-huh.
is it not an instinct? It's just how you're raised. Like more, some men are raised to like protect women, and then some men are not really raised to like value women, so they prey on. Like, how do you guys? What do you guys think about that? I don't know.
No,
Well, it depends.
somebody.
Like a lot of the times, it depends on if they were in the situation where they was preyed on by women. If they were treated in a
Oh,
negligent
like the
way
hurt
when
people
they were
hurt.
children, yeah, then maybe
Mhm.
it's a possibility that they feel that way. Especially if they grown up to be nothing in life, like somebody that's
You
a person
guys, you know what I
that's
hate? Oh my God. You know what I hate so bad? It just irks me to my core. So, like every single like male friend I've had, like male associate, anything, it's like, yeah, I was like 8 years old when I lost my virginity. It's like a 25-year-old.
What?
The most disgusting thing ever. Like it's a very common thing that like all these children, like little boys, are getting taken advantage of by like older women. And it's the most like I was at my
Yeah, that
job, like
happens
at one
too.
of my jobs. And the 17-year, he's like, yeah, I got like this 30-year-old or whatever. And you're 17, like you're a minor. It's illegal. Like there's these female predators, like female pedophiles out
Yeah,
here.
many teachers, many
They
teachers. We're
yeah, and
always
it's
hearing about a teacher here and there
a
that is
lot of
doing that.
men, they downplay it. It's like, oh, that's he's lucky kid, like he's lucky. But it's like, no, we should hold the female pedophiles accountable too, because they're preying on young boys as well. It's just as bad when a male does it to a little girl. It should be the same thing when like an older female does it to like a little kid. Like it happens too often, and I feel like it really does mess up a lot of men, because it's just like you said, you got preyed upon. Like they get preyed upon, and so they start preying upon others because that's what happened to them, right? So it's like that's something that I wish more people would talk about. Like I feel like it should never be acceptable. Like it's gross and disgusting. So yeah.
I
Yeah, because
definitely agree.
even though it might seem like, let's say, if the boy is like 14, 15 years old, I mean, he may be able to do the sex thing already, but mentally, that boy is still too immature. He's still too young to be doing that. And if a teacher were to take advantage of him and something were to happen, okay, he might be seen as, say, quote unquote, the man because because he was able to bet the teacher, but there are certain psychological consequences to that. That boy might grow up, become an adult, and then he will be like a really big time womanizer, not necessarily a predator, but the consequences for it is going to be something very detrimental and negative, and he's not gonna be a good person. He's gonna be like the worst kind of asshole. But as you know, the assholes are the ones that get all the play.
Oh my!
Usually,
Well, it's bad. I heard this story about like this 11-year-old that got the babysitter pregnant, or like the babysitter.
Whoa!
And then
God,
he was
man.
11 years old, and then she lied, saying, "Oh, this is not." And then like he came forward and be like, "Oh yeah, that's my child." And then she went to prison or jail or something. So he basically raising the child by himself now because the bitch she's in fucking prison. So. But that's crazy, like stuff like that. Like nobody thinks about what if this little child, like 14, 13, gets this grown ass, old ass woman pregnant, and now you basically ruin that child's life because you give him responsibility he's totally not ready for. And it's just like the same thing. Like it happens on the same way with the little girls. Like a lot of old ass men, 30-year-olds, and preying on little ass girls that are like 14, 12. And what do it's just like I don't know. I just feel like it should be held accountable on both women and men's side, but it's not really women who do that shit are not really held accountable as much. That's all.
Yeah.
We all know about the Mary Kay Letourneau story and what happened with that situation. So,
yeah.
But definitely. The reason why some men are able to get away if they prey on young girls is because the young girl doesn't have a family structure. Because any woman that has a family structure of her dad, older brothers, uncles, and everything, a lot of men don't like resistance. It's kind of like that mentality in the jungle where if a lion's gonna prey on a weak animal, he's not gonna go at it with another lion because it's gonna cost too much.
That's what it
So
is.
it's the same. It's the same thing. I got to get ready to go, guys. You guys take it easy. I got to go to work. Have a good one.
Talk to you. Bye.
All right, Rakim. All right, Rakim. You take it easy out there because I know that he's gonna be on the road because of his job. But we're gonna keep going. What's up? What's up, Jose? You're breaking up.
Jose, we can hear you.
We can't hear you.
Hey,
I don't know what's going on, Jose. Can't hear you.
okay, take care.
Hello.
There might be a delay. There might be a delay going on, Don Jose. I don't know if maybe you can try again using your phone. I don't know if you're using your phone or your laptop, but
Okay,
we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah. I
Can
can
you or
hear
you
you.
can't?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I was okay. Okay. What I was trying to say that a child, every child needs to have a strong male figure and a strong female figure. So therefore, each child can have a healthy balance of how the function in society. That's one of the problems again put down single parents. But in many homes, households, when there's a single parent, there is a lacking of a healthy male figure, which
Mhm.
leads um, to the people where they're acting today, where you have women that are acting immature because of a lack of a strong male figure, and the same thing with the men. And
Yeah.
people need to realize children need both a healthy male figure and a healthy female figure, because if there's an unhealthy male figure or an unhealthy female figure, those children will be damaged, and then they'll become damaged people and hurt people.
No, and I mean that's are very important. I can tell you that because I grew up without mine. And even if the couple, let's say that they were married, they have the kids, something happens, they divorce, it can happen. It's fairly common these days. But at least it's the parents can actually be adults about it. And when it comes to still being able to get along for the sake of the kids, because we're living in a time where people are getting married, they have kids, or they're not getting married at all. They're having these children, and the parents aren't together anymore. The guy gets lost and all of that. And maybe they become a pawn. The thing is that in a breakup, the children are the ones that suffer the most. It's not so much the parents. The kids are the ones that pay the price because they don't have any control over it. It's not their fault. And some of these so-called parents are being too selfish about it. I mean, the dads that are not there, that are not being a consistent presence in the children's lives, that are being selfish about it, and also the women that maybe were in a relationship, they wanted to walk out because they weren't happy. They're being selfish too because the kids pay the price. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's a feeling that comes and goes. Like, you gotta build on something strong and stable. Like, like I said, it's like it takes emotional control. Because sometimes I'm not happy. Like, nobody's happy all the time.
No,
Sometimes I'm
no.
sad. I can't just like walk
No,
out.
no, 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 no. That whole notion that somebody is gonna quit and divorce just because they aren't happy. I mean, it's a very selfish thing because the kids are
Yeah,
the
because
ones
it
that
comes and goes.
are gonna
Yeah.
pay the price. The best example that I can give you is what happened with the football quarterback Tom Brady. He was married to a supermodel or former supermodel from Brazil called Giselle Bunchen. Recently, she left him. She left him. She left him because she wasn't happy. That's what it came down to. Now, she knew what she was getting into because she got together with a football player. Football is their first love. That's what it was. And she kind of knew that. She kind of knew that, okay, he was with her, but his priority was football. And in part, there is some blame that you can put on Tom Brady for it because he has retired, but he unretired. He wanted to come back. He wanted to play football again, and she didn't like it. She didn't like it, and she wasn't happy, and she broke up the home. And he was
See,
with
that's
her.
why
Uh-huh.
yeah, it always comes down to compatibility. It's like compatibility. It makes or break a relationship because it's like if you're a woman that likes a lot of attention, that wants like some women like a lot of attention. They want, you know, a man around all the time. It doesn't make sense for you to play like dating a football player. It's going to be gone and be focusing on other things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a woman that like, you know, you enjoy your space, you like having your space, then that works out. You know, you get to enjoy your space and you get to be with somebody who's like, you know, so I think it always comes down to compatibility. People are just so, you know, they're only looking at, oh, what can I get out of this person? You know, like I said, they're not looking at, well, we can be compatible in this relationship, and it actually, you know, will be a win-win. We'll both, you know, get our needs met, like our emotional needs met, your sexual needs met, your, you know, all your needs met that you need from somebody else in a relationship. And, you know, mental stimulation needs, like your, you know, all those needs that we have from each other. You know, it's about being, I think it's really about getting your needs met in a relationship. And if you know, somebody those needs, you know, just, it's about being compatible. You got to just really focus, instead of just, people are just so focused on, oh, what can I get out of this? Oh, he got a lot of money. He's this. Oh, he's going to make me look good. He's going to feed my ego. It's all about like ego, you know, it's all about how I look on the outside instead of really trying to really connect and see like, okay, without like, you know, when we are behind closed doors, there's nobody around, you know, are we really compatible? Are we really like, you know, actually meeting each other's needs and committed to doing that to each other, you know? So,
yeah. Jose, you were gonna say something?
Last night on my stream, one of the things I shared that I come from a family where the men were womanizers, okay, because that was the type of mentality that, you know, and it started with my grandfather, because according to my mother, God rest her soul, my paternal grandfather had 26 children with 8 different women. Okay. So what happened is you have a person who had who have the ladies too much, if you catch what I mean. Well, that situation passed on to my father and my uncles and what have you, and I'm one of the few men that came out the opposite.
Yeah, I know. Because you don't mess with women like that so much. But yeah, but that kind of mirrors what happened with my dad, because my folks, my parents, they were married. They were married, and my sister came along, then I came along, and a few short years after that, then they did divorce. I mean, I will never know exactly what happened, but he kind of wanted to live his life. He wanted to be out there, live his life, and after that, now I have a few half brothers and sisters because he was going around doing his thing, having a good time, but I mean, so many. We're talking about Puerto Rican dads. I mean, they sound like they could have been the same person, Jose's dad and mine. But there are many Puerto Rican dads that are actually cool people, good and all. But there are some of us that can be a bit of players because we're lovers like that. So we want to be love as many ladies as we can. Yeah. We do that too. So we're not innocent of just not being reliable and faithful and things like that. We do that too, unfortunately. Yep.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of my story. You know, my mom's black, my dad's white, and they were married. But I have my mom, she was like a single mother. My sister is fully black, and then I'm half black. And then my dad, he was a stepdad to her, and then they had me. And so they were married for like 10 years, and then they got divorced. And then my mom was like a single mother, and, you know, busting her ass. Shout out to my mama, because she worked her ass off, you know, hustling, providing for us and everything. And yeah, you know, but I do think he set a good example for me. Like he was a good person, you know. I think that was the most important thing is like, you know, having that example, like you said, like if this is a good person, you know, that's what you're going to look for in other people, because that was the role model set to you, you know. So I do think that, yeah.
Yeah, and about what Denise is saying, at least you know where your dad was living. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I
Me
didn't get the
neither.
chance
My dad lived.
to
He
know
moved.
where my dad was. I couldn't
I
find
know.
him. It was difficult to call him because he intentionally would be difficult to reach.
Mhm.
That's my dad. That's my dad. At least Denise's dad, she knew where he was at. She could find him. So that's not too bad.
That's
Good for
good.
you.
Yeah, my dad disappeared too. He moved to California, and we were like, he called every. Actually, he did. He called every once in a while. He sent us some money, and you know, it's cool though. It's cool. But we're
Yeah,
just
but
trying to.
have you been able to mend your
He
relationship with
was
him?
sad. The sad part is he died like last year. He was on his way. I haven't seen him since I was 14, and then I moved back out to where I'm at in Washington State, and he was
Yeah.
coming up here from California, and he died on the way here. Isn't that sad? Oh, it's sad.
I'm
It's okay.
sorry.
I made my
Yeah,
amends.
sorry
Oh, I'm
to hear
sorry to
that.
hear
Sorry
about
to
that.
hear that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
it's all good though. It's cool. But
yeah,
dad,
it's only now.
good dad and everything, and I'm grateful for my parents and I'm really happy. I think they're thank God my mother's still here, of course, and
And
I'm
I'm gonna
just
tell you something about that, Magic. I'm gonna tell you something about that. While you have your mom, treasure her, cherish
exactly.
her, treasure her, cherish her, treasure her, cherish her. I'm telling you
Mhm.
this. I'm telling you this as somebody who lost his mom back in April. So
Mm.
that's something that I'm dealing with.
Mhm.
I try not to sound like it, but it's been
Mhm.
really difficult. A lot of times I have felt like I don't want to be here anymore and all because I am dealing with that loss. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, Magic. Cherish
Mhm.
her,
Thank you.
treasure
Thank you.
her, cherish her, and
Mhm.
treasure her. Your
Thank
mom.
you. I'm
Do that.
sorry, difficult. I'm sorry. My condolences, to you guys. Very
Yeah,
much.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So it's like the most difficult loss
I agree
that
with
you can have.
Ramon.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give my mom a hug right now.
Excuse me. I
Yeah, yeah,
agree.
do that. Do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Go
Excuse
on,
me.
go on.
I agree with Ramon 100% because 2 years ago, within a 6-month period, I lost my oldest sister and my mom on the same year, and and both my parents are deceased. Even though they lived a long life, I still miss them, and I'm still struggling, you know, you know, with, with the healing process, and then there are other things going on in my personal life, which is why I'm undergoing therapy because I've been through a lot of emotional trauma.
No, I mean, if you feel like you need a little bit of counseling, hey,
Mhm.
hey,
I think
get yourself some help. To a degree, that's the kind of advice that probably I should apply to myself because I haven't I haven't talked to anybody about my
Mhm.
loss, about what I have been dealing with, my
Healthy.
grief,
Yeah, I
and all of
encourage
that.
you to do that. Find somebody you can
Yeah,
talk.
I know. I can give out that advice, but I don't apply it to myself because
Yeah,
of it's pride. It's kind of like a pride
Mhm.
thing, macho pride,
Mhm. Yeah,
that
it
kind
is.
of thing. But that's still, I will say, if you feel like
Mhm.
you need some
Well,
counseling, somebody to talk to professionally, then
Mhm.
do it. It might be helpful.
I think so. Yeah, this is why family's so important, guys. We really gotta love and cherish who we have with us while they're here, making sure we're treating them right. 'Cause you never know. We never know what can happen. Life is temporary. Every single one of us is gonna go one day, and we just gotta really keep that in perspective and making sure like the people in our lives, we cherish them and love them, and you know, yeah.
Definitely,
Hmm.
definitely, definitely. Well said, well said. And you
yeah.
should, you should.
Well,
Mhm.
it's to be put. Excuse me. Be perfectly honest, it's harder for the baby boomers to admit that they need therapy because we was brought up under a different generation who didn't mindset. So for for a baby boomer to therapy, that's a very hard humble experiences, and not everyone is that state when they could recognize that they need some help, and they need a professional to try to to give some sort of guidance and to bring some sort of order to their lives, particularly through a lot of emotional trauma.
Yeah.
I agree. And if shout out to you, Jose, for actually, utilizing that wonderful tool of counseling and therapy to help it. Yeah, here's how I look at it. It's just a tool. It's like nobody shames anybody if they want to hire a personal trainer so they can get their physical fitness right? So there shouldn't be no shame or no stigma with anybody who want to hire or work with a counselor or a professional who wants to get their mental health right. Like that's how it should be looked at. As simple as somebody's helping you work on your mental health, and that should be praised.
No, definitely, definitely. If you need that kind of help, counseling, and all of that, hey, consider it. If you think that you need it, consider it and take advantage of it if you have the resources available for it. Definitely.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go eat dinner with my family. It was a really good
Ah,
talk. Talking to you guys.
Okay.
hey, I appreciate you coming up to the
Yeah.
stream.
It was a great talk. I look forward to more. I love this conversation. It was really
Hey, I'll send the link out.
All right.
Make sure to let you know. Thanks for coming up.
Of course. You guys have a good night, okay? Bye, Denise. Bye, Jose. Bye.
Hey, you
Jose.
too.
Okay,
Bye,
Take
take
care.
care,
Take
Matthew.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
That was cool. That was cool. She came out. I mean, I didn't know that if she would have come out. I sent her the link, and she came out. She's all right. Mm-hmm.
She does speak with a lot of wisdom for a person that young. I mean, it's very refreshing to see someone that young to be that wise.
Well, she's a family person, so having a family, having a husband and children, it's gonna make you do some growing up. You're gonna have to do some growing up, so you will get some wisdom out of it. So I think that has directly to do with it. Yeah.
I believe that's true. I believe
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh yeah. Being in the situation where
Um,
you're responsible for other people, definitely, you're gonna have to do some growing up. Definitely. Hmm.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Um,
Mhm.
I said earlier tonight.
Yeah. Let me see.
So that means you finally arrived, Ramon.
That I have what? That I finally right?
Arrived. Arrived.
Ah. No. But yeah, I need to do more of this, and because it might be of help. I'm not too keen about talking to counselors, but maybe if I do more of this and I talk to like regular people, that I think it will be helpful. Not just for the socializing aspect, but sometimes talking about things, it does give a way for it to be circulated out of your system, at least mentally. Because sometimes you try to keep things to yourself, and you're just gonna be hurting yourself. You don't want that. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of how I
This
see
is
it.
the way I approach it. I'm not saying you have to approach it this way, but this is a suggestion.
Mhm.
Just like when you see a physician, you explain to the physician what are your symptoms and how you're feeling. Same with a therapist. What you're doing is you are sharing with a trained professional what's
Mhm.
going on mentally and emotionally. And if that
Right.
person is a good therapist, that person will be able to give some sort of direction and help you to focus on some healthier ways to deal with whatever trauma or emotion or what have you. That's something that I've been going through for the last several months, not just, like I said, not just what's going on with, with the passing of, of my older sister and my mom, but, some other
Yeah.
situations where I needed professional assistance. And there is no shame to admit that you need help.
Hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. I keep keeping that in mind. I know that it's been already months, but a part of me is like, it's okay. I can handle this. It's okay. I can handle this. So, but I think that a lot of that has to be kind of like macho pride shit. I can't let go of it because it's a big part of who I am as a man, and I do feel like I can handle it. Like I
Well,
can handle it.
I mean,
Yeah.
well,
Hmm.
part of it it's because we were taught that way. I mean, that's the reason
Yeah.
why. And when you're taught passion, it makes it hard to acknowledge that you professional help.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No, I get
mean,
it. I get it. It's kind of like a such an old habit, old custom. I can't just forget about it. It's too much of a part of me. It's cultural too. You know that. You know that. It's a culture.
I way to look at it, and this is only a suggestion on my part, is
Hmm.
think of it as a gradual process. Okay,
Hmm.
if you see that a certain way
Yeah.
that you're doing something is not very official,
Hmm.
try to modify it, make
Yeah.
it more appropriate, for lack of a better term, and then you continue to modify it, and the next thing you know it, you're giving up those unhealthy habits.
Hmm. 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 Yeah. 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 I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
So yeah, I mean, I did discuss a great deal regarding mental health issues on my platform, and
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
and
I know.
yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
No, you're right. You're right.
like,
You have talked about it.
you have to feel comfortable with the therapist that you're dealing with, because private information, private data. So there has to be a certain level of trust that has to exist. I mean, just
Hmm.
like there's a certain level of trust when you're dealing with a physician regarding your physical ailment.
Oh no, well, there is also laws about it. The whole EPA laws that have to do with the confidentiality of it. Yeah, yeah, that's something that should be handled between. There is kind of like a privacy privilege between physician and patient. I mean, yeah, yeah, it's necessary. It's necessary.
Yeah,
That needs to be
I agree.
respected. Absolutely. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, why I would suggest that you do remote if you can. Try at least to start to do like one stream a week on a basis,
You know
and
what?
don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah.
so
I
much
have
that
to
you're
think
gonna have
about it. I have
time
to think about it
conflict with.
during. Oh, my bad, my bad. Go on.
Yeah, because look, the reality is this: there's there's never gonna be a time when you're gonna do a stream and then someone else is gonna whether it be myself, whether it be Radical, whether it be Donna Mando, or
Hmm.
Christina, or whoever. The reality is this: there's going to be times when you're going to have conflicts with other YouTube creators. Okay,
Yeah.
and but the key is to do it on a regular basis, and then you sooner or later you're going to grow an audience, and then you're going to grow a support base.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Consistency. I'm aware of it. I know that I'm not being very good at consistency, but
Yeah.
yes, that is something that I have to get more creative when it comes to subjects, when it comes to content ideas. I have to get more creative with that. That's another thing. Yeah, that's a big part of it.
One, yeah. Well, one thing I'm going to start to do on my community tab, like once a week, I'm gonna put down, um, if there anybody have any suggestions for me to, for topics for me to talk about, because be honest, sometimes it could be difficult trying to create quality content. I mean, sometimes um, you think it's going to go well. It's not well received, and then you do a topic when you don't think it's going to do well, and next thing you know, it's doing very well. It's hit or miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. It's true. Again, the whole thing with the consistency, that's something that has to be done. It has to be done that way. So yeah. I think the stream there wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It started out slow. I know, sluggish. My struggle streams do start somewhat slow, but it did pick up. It did pick up, and I couldn't have done it with you
Well,
guys' participation. So
remember,
I appreciate it. Mhm. Yeah, what was that?
no problem, because the fact of the matter is we have to count. I say no problem because we need to do what we can to support each other's platforms and whatnot.
That's
And in
correct.
fact, what I did was I listed your channel on my platform on my platform as a feature, um, YouTube creator. I have several people,
Hmm.
YouTube creators which I have featured on my platform.
Yeah, I have to do some of that. Feature you guys. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get to repost on the tab. I have to make more use of it. Yeah. I have to do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, now that I have a community tab, so what I do is first, of course, I post information regarding my upcoming streams. Um,
Mhm.
Also, I post images of my family, and so to try, bring out the more human side of me, so to speak. And sometimes I'll spread my little words of wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now that I
Yeah.
have a community tab, because I can, yeah, because before I had to use and Facebook. So now I have another tool on my tool chest.
That's good. That's good. That's a good thing. Make the best use of it. Absolutely. That's a good thing.
And other YouTube creators.
No, that's right.
So,
That's right.
but yeah, but then again, like I said before, my tool is small.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. I didn't hear that last part.
No, I said that my channel is still a small channel.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, yeah. Also, it helps to remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Meaning, it's going to take a while before your channel gets big, but the key, I hate to say it, is being consistent.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. No, you're right. You're right. You're
Yes.
correct.
So that's yeah, that is so true. But I'm happy to say that our friend Keisha is doing well with her channel. She's getting close to 100 subs.
All right. Good. 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 Let's see if I can get there. I don't know how many years it's gonna take me, but I hope I can get there. I think I can do it, but I just have to follow the process and be consistent with it. I'm aware of that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
look, just be consistent. Do on a regular network whenever you can, and always trying to find interesting topics.
Yeah, I had to get a little controversial, like our girl Denise, because I know, I know it's just that I understand. I'm well aware that when it comes to content creation, something that can be very good, that can be very useful is kind of like having contention and having arguments. I know that that's great for views. It's just that I hate arguing. I don't argue. I learned years ago not to argue, particularly with women, because you can have an argument between two men, and you know that there is gonna be it's only gonna be taken to a certain point because that's how it is between men. But with arguing with a woman, no, I don't do it. I don't argue with women. And there are some men that arguing with certain men is like arguing with women. So you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let me let me be careful because say that there are certain individuals that are more problematic than others, and just leave it like that.
Yes. Oh yeah. I know. There are certain types that are problematic, but they need attention too, and they're looking for any which way to get it in. So, yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Let me make sure I don't have anything open.
I mean, look.
Okay.
Yeah. Because look, there are some people that crave attention and will do just about anything to do it. That's the reason why, sometimes the best thing you can do is ignore them, because that hits them where it hurts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fact,
because you're not giving them attention. I know.
Yeah. In fact, Magic posted a short video. I think it was on TikTok, where there was a lady inside of a locked car that was trying to get attention, but she wouldn't pay mind, and the dude just leave her alone because he's just trying to do anything to get under her skin. And the worst thing that you can do to a person who is an attention hog is not to give them any attention.
Oh yeah. You're just gonna like tell them, okay, get away, get lost. I mean, let me say the best content creators.
You don't even have to say that.
The content creator. Hang on. The best content creators are Ken123 and Sakurai. Come on. I hear so much about the Ken guy because I have talked I've never talked to him. I've never dealt with him. But I hear so many things. I hear so much about them. So I'm not I'm not gonna speculate about him, but yeah. I hear so many things.
Okay. Well, let me put it to you this way regarding our friend Kim 123.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the same thing in just about every stream, and it's always the same
Yeah.
thing. Here's a hot battle for some sick ass Latinas, and Mr. BBC going to Latin America to get with these women and blah 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 blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah.
Yeah. 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 That's what I'm always hearing, that his platform is about that. Yeah, but let me see. I heard he was a Peruvian salty incel living in his mom's garage. You know what? The whole part about being incel, I've heard about it too. I didn't know about him being Peruvian. I had heard that he was Mexican, but uh, what do I know? But about the insult thing,
Well,
yeah, I
I
have heard
think
things, something
he's
along those
definitely
lines. Mm-hmm.
well. I mean, he's more of a gringo than I am. So, I mean, at least I speak Spanish. I may not speak Spanish well, but at least I speak Spanish. This guy cannot
Yeah,
speak Spanish to save his life.
yeah. Well, his parents failed him. I think I understand. I understand that on the previous generations, when they came to this country, they didn't pass down the language to their kids, but that ended up being detrimental. I think it should have been properly passed down to you guys, and that wasn't gonna make you less of an American, because I mean, Italian Americans, Italian Americans, that they speak Italian to each other, but they consider themselves to be very American, and to be they're like very patriotic and all of that, but they still will speak Italian. They still could do it, or maybe with the Irish, the same thing. They will speak the Celtic dialect or whatever. And they wouldn't lose that identity. Nope, they wouldn't do that.
Okay.
So why is it? So why is it
I
that us
I
as
think what we
Hispanics have to
need.
do it?
I think what we need to do.
Yeah, go
I think what we need to do, like a female version of Kim 123.
on. What about it? What about it?
I said I think what we need to do is hooking up with a female version of it.
Ah. Dennis is saying we need to find a woman that's willing to be the tribute, take one for the team, and get with poor Kim so that he stops being so upset all the time. Oh man. That's the thing. That's the
Okay,
thing.
but
From what I hear, he can only talk to women
okay,
when he's talking about BBC,
okay, but let's okay. What's needed is a woman to become like an emotional author to be with this Kim 123.
Mm-hmm. Right. I
Take a
hear
look
you.
at the
I hear what
next
you're saying.
comment.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or maybe we can.
take a look at the comment.
Together so they can be both hype. Well, I'm not gonna speculate on that. I've heard something about it. I've heard something about somebody's orientation, but I'm not gonna speculate on it. I don't know anything about it, so I'm not gonna speculate. But I have heard some things. That is some of the things that are alleged when it comes to somebody's uh, orientation. And we got I've heard
Uh,
things. I've heard things, but I'm not gonna repeat them here because that will be gossiping. Hmm.
you know what? All I can say is bless his heart. That's all.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, because
Yeah. So, Don Jose, once again, I
I've run
appreciate it.
across a couple. I mean,
Uh-huh. Yeah, finish up, finish up. I wanted to say something.
no, go ahead. Please continue.
No,
No,
before
but
after you're done.
I come across
Uh-huh.
why.
Oh my God, I know that Sakura says it's fruity. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, all right. Well, here I have heard things
Okay, well,
something along those lines. Yes. Go on, Jose.
well, okay. But I was saying that I'm a wide assortment of members of the peanut gallery. Okay. First we have Timothy, then we have Zacharias, and then we have another YouTube creator going out saying that I'm white and old and I'm senile and that I have an insignificant platform.
No, well, let them talk
But
like that. Let them think like that. Let them.
Yeah, because what he's doing is creating free press for me and allowing me to live rent free in his tortured mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, well, it's like Denise was saying. I mean, if he were to find a decent woman in his life, that would be so much of a big change for him. That will turn things around probably. It's just that he's not lucky. He's not lucky like that. He's having difficulty being able to have a significant other from what I hear. So yeah. That's how it seems.
Okay, but
so is it really
yeah, but
insignificant what he's talking about? Is it really insignificant? Don't think so.
I mean, a woman will have to develop a model's complex to get with Kim 123.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So he's gonna stay alone if that's true. That's on him.
Well,
that's on him.
Well, in the words of the late Kevin Samuel, get a dog and die alone.
And die alone. Oh, yep, yeah. That can apply to men too. That can apply to men too if they don't get it together. Yeah, that can apply to a man too. Absolutely. Yep. I agree. Hey, so Don Jose, once again, I appreciate you coming in and showing some support to my little panel on my little YouTube stream, on my struggle stream, I should say. I'm trying to be the best host that I can be, but like my screen name says, I'm a bit of an introvert. I don't talk much to begin with, but I do appreciate it. Somebody like you and Rakim and Magic that came up to the panel and also to the chat. Denise, obviously, and Morena, who was on the chat earlier. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up and with your comments and showing some support. And once again, Don Jose, final words before I close up.
Well, as always, thank you very much for allowing me on your platform so we can chew the fat. And I just want to encourage everyone in the audience, if you have not, please show some love, subscribe to the Intro Boricua. Whenever you do see this content, please give a like and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, when my younger brother, so to speak, prepares content, you will have the opportunity to either catch it live or catch it on the playback. That being said, shout out to everyone on the chat and everyone who appeared on the panel, and hopefully we'll see more content from you in the near future. Good night, Denise.
Yeah, you could have come out to the panel, Denise. I mean, but maybe next time. Maybe next time. So we'll see when next time is. Hopefully,
Well,
it's gonna be soon. Mm-hmm.
well, sometimes people feel more comfortable just chatting in the background. So who knows? I mean,
Yeah,
I noticed that quite a
yeah.
few people feel more comfortable that way.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it.
So
All right. So there is something that I have to tend to. So I'm not going to be having a backstage tonight. Maybe next time. But I'm definitely looking forward to having you on a panel. So once again, I thank you. If there wasn't anything else that you wanted to add to that, then we can sign off. Anything else?
no, just that just make sure people that please subscribe to the Introvert Película. That's all. Thank you very much.
That's right. And by the same
And
way,
good night.
make sure that you guys that are listening, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you subscribe to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. He has a channel. He's definitely more consistent than me when it comes to doing live streams, putting out content. So subscribe to him. He does live streams regularly, and I'm sure that you're gonna be more than welcome to come up on his panels and chop it up, talk, interact, and the like. So again, thank you.
Okay.
Anybody who is still watching, listening, appreciate you watching. If you can, hit the like, and I'm gonna be seeing you on the next one. Take care. Have a good one.
Okay.
And take
Good
care,
night.
Don Jose. Have a good night.
You too. Good night. Bye.